Good for the culture and maybe the stability of the Canes going forward. They have a lot of question marks and a lot of free agents to deal with coming up in the next couple of weeks. That might have been the biggest one, though. Their head coach, your reaction to the news that he's staying put?
No question. I think it took longer than I thought. I think when you got Brind'Amour in place and then you see that there's a couple potential fits for him outside of the organization, you thought Carolina might have done this prior to playoffs. But they got it done. That's the most important thing. And I think the trickle-down effect will be Gensel and the other free agents saying, okay, they got the coach back here. They do have lots of room on their salary cap to sign most of those guys. So it's important, again, they're not far away. They're missing some things, and we'll probably talk a little bit about what we think that missing piece is. But those games against the Rangers, every game they outshot them. They outchanced them in 5 of the 6 games. They were really close. So they're not far away. And a couple pieces added over the free agency market, you never know. They might be right back.
Tony, a lot of people talk about maybe was that a distraction at all for the hockey team? I don't know. I thought they played hard, like you said. A lot of the numbers were in favor of Carolina. But it did become a big topic that he wasn't signed and whether he was going to be the leader of this squad moving forward. But, boy, that is a lot of free agents that they have to make decisions
big names, too. Like, you're talking big names. Gensel, potential rental there at the end of the season, something that they weren't really accustomed to doing the last couple of years, taking on rentals, but they do that. They also bring in Kuznetsov. But look at some of these guys. Brady Shea, Brett Pesce, those big pieces there on the back end. Teuvo Teravainen. So Marty Necas, I mean, there's some big decisions to make.
Well, they were a couple of big saves away from playing the Game 7 themselves and maybe being on the road to a Stanley Cup. This team worked as hard as any team I have seen in the playoffs in that last hockey game. Everyone went out to a man and was just laying it all on the line. I mean, they were dogs on a bone. They were in every corner. It was every player, shift after shift. But the goaltender's got to make the saves you have to make, and eventually that did not happen for the Canes.
Yeah, and if you look at that conference and you look at the goaltenders, you got Swayman, you got Vasilevsky, you got Shesterkin,
Sorokin.
You got Sorokin. You got
big-time goalies.
Big-time goalies. Yeah. So sometimes you could have a great team and your goalie's a little bit behind the guy on the other end, and the goalie wins on the other end. And I think that's what the Carolina's faced the last couple of years. So
we always talk about the playoffs and the margins being this thin this time of year. All right, Brind'Amour staying put for the next couple of seasons down there in Carolina.